Sometimes the kitchen is not dirty enough to clean, but heavy enough to drain you. It might just be a few glasses on the counter, one plate beside the sink, crumbs near the toaster, a pan you meant to wash after dinner but then someone needed you, or your phone rang, or you finally sat down for 2 minutes and couldn't get back up. Nothing looks terrible. If someone else walked in, they might say, "It's not that bad." And maybe it isn't, but you still feel it when you pass by. That little drop in your chest, that quiet pull in your mind, that sense that the day is not fully over because the kitchen is still there waiting. And the strange part is, you may not even want a perfectly clean kitchen. You may just want the kitchen to stop talking to you, because that is what it can feel like at night. The mug says, "I'm still here." The crumbs say, "Wipe me." The lunch container says, "Don't forget tomorrow." The pan says you still didn't finish. The school water bottle, the tea towel, the open packet, the spoon near the coffee jar, the empty wrapper by the sink. They are small things, ordinary things, but after a long day, small things can feel louder than they should. For many busy women, the kitchen is where the whole day collects. Breakfast begins there. Lunchboxes happen there. Dinner happens there. Snacks spills grocery thoughts. Children asking questions. Someone looking for something. A phone buzzing on the counter. A handbag dropped near the door. Laundry waiting somewhere nearby. The kitchen is not just a room. It is where decisions keep landing. What are we eating? What needs to be used before it goes bad? Did anyone finish the milk? Is there something for tomorrow? Should I load the dishwasher now or later? Is that container clean? Why is this still here? And none of these questions are dramatic on their own, but together they create a kind of background noise, a low, steady hum that keeps your mind slightly switched on even when your body is asking to stop. That is why a small kitchen mess can feel emotional. Not because you are overreacting, not because you are messy, not because you lack discipline. It feels heavy because every object seems to carry a little unfinished instruction. Move this, wash that, remember this, plan that, start again tomorrow. And when you are already tired, even tiny instructions can feel like too much. This is why a 5-minute kitchen reset can be so useful. Not a deep clean, not a perfect evening routine, not a new rule you have to perform every night to prove something about yourself. Just 5 quiet minutes to make the kitchen easier to leave behind. In the spirit of Kaizen, the point is not to fix everything at once. It is to make one small part easier to repeat. That is all. One small improvement, one point of friction reduced, one place in the room that stops pulling on your attention. Because a perfect routine often asks for a version of you that only exists on easier days. The version with time, patience, energy, and no interruptions. The version who can clean the whole kitchen after dinner, wipe every surface, empty the dishwasher, prepare tomorrow's breakfast, pack the bags, fold the towel, sweep the floor, and still feel peaceful. But real evenings are not usually like that. Real evenings are interrupted. Someone asks for help. A child needs attention. A message comes in. You remember the laundry. You open the fridge and forget what you were looking for. You eat something standing by the counter because sitting down feels like one more step. And by the time the house is quieter, your energy is not gone in a dramatic way. It is just thin. That is the kind of evening this reset is for. Before you start, decide what the reset is allowed to be. 5 minutes. One small area. A little less visual noise. That is enough. You can even set a timer, not to pressure yourself, but to protect yourself. Because sometimes a woman begins with, "I'll just clear this one thing," and suddenly she is scrubbing the stove, reorganizing a cupboard, checking dates on jars, and feeling annoyed that she started. The timer is a boundary. It says this is not a whole cleaning session. This is just a reset. When the 5 minutes are over, you are allowed to stop. Even if the sink still has dishes. Even if the floor has crumbs. Even if the pan is still soaking. The aim is not to finish the kitchen. The aim is to make the kitchen feel less demanding. Start with the easiest things to remove. The tiny rubbish, a wrapper, a tea bag, a used napkin, a receipt, the corner of a packet, the little bits that make the counter look more chaotic than it really is. This first minute matters more than it looks. You are not cleaning in a big way. You are quieting the room a little. Put rubbish in the bin. Put recycling where it goes. Keep it simple. Do not open a drawer. Do not start sorting containers. Do not decide this is the moment to fix the cupboard that has been annoying you for 6 months. Stay on the surface. Stay with what your eyes are already noticing. Then gather the dishes into one place. You do not have to wash them all. You do not have to load everything perfectly. Just bring the scattered pieces together. The glass from the table, the bowl beside the sink, the spoon near the coffee jar, the mug that has been sitting there since the morning rush. When dishes are spread around the kitchen, the whole room feels unfinished. There is something waiting in every direction. But when they are gathered, even if they are still dirty, your mind gets a different message. It has been noticed. It is contained. That may sound small, but containment is one of the quietest ways to reduce mental clutter. A basket by the stairs can make the hallway feel less chaotic, even before anything has been taken upstairs. A single pile of clothes on the chair can feel easier than clothes spread across the bed floor and wardrobe door. In the kitchen, one dish zone can feel calmer than little reminders scattered everywhere. You are giving the mess a boundary, and sometimes a boundary is enough for tonight. After that, choose one flat surface, only one. This part is important because the tired mind does not need a whole room to become perfect. It usually needs one place where the eyes can rest. Maybe it is the counter beside the kettle. Maybe it is the small space near the sink. Maybe it is the corner where you make coffee in the morning. Maybe it is the part of the island where everyone drops things. Do not ask yourself, how do I clean this whole kitchen? That question is too heavy at night. Ask something smaller. Where do my eyes keep landing? Which spot is making the room feel louder? Which surface would make tomorrow morning feel a little easier? Then, clear that one place enough that you can see it again. Move the cutting board back. Put the cereal box away. Stack the plates. Wipe one small patch if crumbs are what bother you most. You do not have to make the counter shine. You are simply creating one quiet place in a busy room. And that one quiet place can change how the kitchen feels when you walk away. The room may still look lived in. That is fine. A lived-in kitchen is not a failure. It means people eat there. People pass through. People are cared for there. Life happens there. But one clear surface says this part is calm. And sometimes that is all your mind needs before it can begin to let go of the day. Next, place back 3 things you use often. Not everything, just 3 things. Maybe the kettle, the mugs and the tea. Maybe the coffee jar, the spoon and the sugar. Maybe the chopping board, the salt and the knife block. Maybe the lunch boxes, the water bottles and the school snacks. This is not about making the kitchen look styled. It is about making tomorrow a little less irritating. Because mornings often become stressful through small searches. Where is the lid? Where did I put the mug? Is there a clean spoon? Why is the lunchbox not where it usually is? Where is the water bottle? Each tiny search takes a bit of energy. Each tiny decision asks your mind to wake up faster than your body wants to. So when 3 useful things are back in place, you are giving tomorrow fewer places to snag. You are not changing your whole life. You are simply making the next beginning less rough. And that is a very real kind of care. A good reset should not take more from you than it gives back. It should not leave you resentful. It should not become another standard you have to live up to. It should feel like a small handrail in the evening, something you can lean on when the day has been full. In the last minute, prepare one clean point for the morning. One clean point. That might be a mug waiting by the kettle, a clear patch where you can make breakfast, a glass set near the sink, a lunchbox area ready to use, a corner of the counter with nothing piled on it. This clean point is not for guests. It is not for photos. It is for the woman who will walk into the kitchen tomorrow, half awake, maybe already thinking about work, school, messages, appointments, laundry, dinner, and the thing she forgot yesterday. It is for her. It tells her you do not have to begin from zero. There is one place ready. One small part of the morning has already been softened. That may not sound like much in the middle of the evening, but tomorrow morning, when your eyes find that little clear space before they find the rest of the mess, it can make the first few minutes feel less sharp. Because mornings are often shaped by what was left waiting the night before. You walk in still tired, and the kitchen immediately starts handing you tasks. Wash this. Move that. Find the lid. Clear space. Wipe the counter. Think about breakfast. Think about lunch. Think about dinner later. And before the day has really begun, your mind is already crowded. A 5-minute reset will not make the morning perfect. It may not even make it easy, but it can make it less jagged. Less like you are being met by yesterday's unfinished business. More like there is one small place where you can breathe before the day starts asking for things. This is why the smaller approach often works better than forcing a full routine. A full routine sounds good when you are planning it. It looks neat in your mind. After dinner, clean everything. Prepare tomorrow. Wipe the surfaces. Put everything away. Sleep peacefully. But life does not always move in neat lines. Some nights you are too tired. Some nights the dishes are more than usual. Some nights someone needs you. Some nights you feel emotionally done, and the thought of doing one more complete task makes you want to avoid the kitchen altogether. When a routine is too big, it becomes easy to skip. And once you skip it, it can start to feel like failure. A 5-minute reset is different. It is small enough to begin even when you do not feel impressive. Small enough to do imperfectly. Small enough to return to after missing a night. And that matters because the habit is not about the size of the result. The habit is the return. Coming back to one small action that supports you again and again in ordinary ways. Some evenings, the sink will be the part that bothers you most. So you gather the dishes and rinse the worst one. Some evenings the counter will feel heavy, so you clear one corner and leave the rest. Some evenings, the fridge will be the place where you keep standing because you are tired and looking for something comforting, but nothing feels right. On that kind of night, the reset might be as simple as moving tomorrow's breakfast forward, putting leftovers where you can see them, closing the door and making tea. Some evenings, all you can do is throw away the little rubbish and place one mug beside the kettle. That still counts. It counts because you are not trying to become a perfect woman with a perfect kitchen. You are building a small system for the real evening you actually have. The one where the laundry basket is still waiting in the hall. The one where your phone is beside the bed and part of you wants to scroll just to feel like no one needs anything from you. The one where the chair in the bedroom has clothes on it again. The one where you are trying to rest, but your mind keeps walking through tomorrow. These small points of friction are not signs that you are failing. They are signs that your day has many moving parts. And if your day has many moving parts, you need support that is small enough to fit into it. Not more pressure, not another plan that makes you feel behind before you begin. Just a few repeatable gestures that make the home a little easier to live inside. So tomorrow, try this gently. After dinner, or before you leave the kitchen for the night, pause for a few seconds and look around. Not with criticism. Not with that harsh voice that says, "This place is a mess." Just notice, where do your eyes keep going? What is pulling on your mind the most? Then give that place 5 minutes. Remove the tiny rubbish. Gather what is scattered. Clear one flat surface. Put 3 useful things back where tomorrow can find them. Leave one clean point for the morning. Then stop. Really stop. Let stopping be part of the routine. That may be the hardest part if you are used to all or nothing cleaning. You may feel yourself wanting to continue. You may think, since I started, I should do the rest. And if you have the energy, of course you can do more. But you do not have to. There is a quiet skill in letting enough be enough. Not because you are lowering your standards, because you are creating a habit that does not punish you for being tired. A home does not become calmer only through big cleaning days. Sometimes it becomes calmer through small reset points, placed where life usually gets tangled. The kitchen counter where everything lands. The door where bags pile up. The chair that keeps collecting clothes. The bedside table where the phone waits beside your tired mind. The corner of the kitchen where tomorrow begins. You do not need your whole home to be perfectly organized before it can support you. A few small systems can change the feeling of a day. A basket where things naturally collect. A clear place for the morning mug. A phone turned face down before bed. One task written for tomorrow instead of a full plan. One surface cleared because your eyes needed relief. These are not dramatic habits. They are not impressive from the outside, but they can make daily life feel less abrasive. They can help you stop meeting the same tiny problems again and again with a tired mind. And they can remind you that care does not always have to look like doing more. Sometimes, care looks like making something easier. Easier to begin. Easier to return to. Easier to leave behind. Maybe the kitchen does not need to be the final demand of the evening. Maybe it can become a quiet closing point. Not every night. Not perfectly. Not as another rule. Just often enough that your mind begins to trust there will be one small place that does not ask so much from you. Because you are not lazy for feeling drained by small messes. You are carrying the weight of unfinished things. You are noticing the invisible work that sits inside ordinary rooms. You are feeling the pressure of being responsible for more than people always see. And when a room holds too many reminders, of course your mind can feel crowded. So let this reset stay gentle. Let it be imperfect. Let it be small enough that it almost feels too easy. The dishes do not all need to be done before you are allowed to rest. The counter does not need to look beautiful before the evening can close. The kitchen does not need to shine for you to be kind to yourself. You only need one place that feels lighter than it did 5 minutes ago. One place that says this part is handled. One place that waits for you tomorrow without immediately pulling at your mind. And when you leave the kitchen tonight, you do not have to leave as the woman who finished everything. You can leave as the woman who made one small part of daily life easier to return to. The kitchen does not need to be perfect. It only needs to stop pulling on your mind.